morning and welcome to NARC News, your number one source of the biggest government news. My name is Jack White and I'm here with my co-anchor, Brittany Blanco. Tell us, Brittany, what's the first story that we're going to hear about today?
Thank you, Jack. Our first story comes from the streets of Salt Lake City, and where little Jimmy was supposedly beating the world record for hot dog eating. Wow, that's crazy. We have a reporter over there right now catching the scoop on the big story. Over to you, Peter.
Okay.
Just don't say it.
Go.
Little Jimmy ate 40 hot... Breaking news! The president threw up on the Japanese prime minister. It got everywhere. Sorry about that. Back to the story of little Jimmy, who ate 40 hot dogs. Sorry, the president takes precedence over little Jimmy because the president is important and Jimmy will never grow up to be anything. That's it. Back to you.
Oh, we're on air. Okay. Well, now that we have some time, thanks, Peter, for that, by the way, I would like to explain a few news principles with y'all.
What a treat.
Really, it just is. I know. I'm so good. Number 1, plan ahead. Number 2, stay on the offensive. Number 3, control the flow of your information. Please pay attention. 4, limit the reporter's access to the president. You don't want that. 5, talk about the issues you want to talk about. Don't talk about your crap. We don't want to know about that. Speak in one voice like mine. And 7, repeat the same message many times. Repeat the same message. Repeat the same message many times.
Wow. Well, okay. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Yes. Okay. Do you or someone you know suffer from BYU syndrome? Symptoms include cheering for BYU, wearing blue with a Y on it, being an AP government teacher, living in Stansbury Park, or having a last name that starts with R. For only pennies a day, treatment and help can be given to those suffering. Every day, one family starves each night because they do not have any food and because they love BYU and they starve. Donate today by calling this number and support these suffering families in desperate need of help for pennies a day.
And we're back.
Yes, and just in time to see what the weather will be like this week with our weather anchor, Joy.
Okay, yeah, sorry. So, wait, I don't...
Tell us, Joy, what's the weather going to be like this week?
As you can see, we're gonna have a shower. Because I'm training to be a anchor, we're gonna, not do other weather stuff here. Okay, so in the development of media and broadcast media, in the 1960s, TV began to be favored over radio. People would look at people and judge them by their looks and not by what they said. So.
Is that it? We're back.
Wait, is this thing even on?
Got to think of that.
Dang it.
And we're actually back.
Yes. We are. Sing it together.
Now was your side.
Okay, and now to our reporter, Cameron.
I'm here at the most interesting place on earth. Yo, I'm here to drop some fire. Yo, the media's influence you and me, changing what we think, yo, changing what we see. It affects what we do and how we vote, which president we love, yo, which we demote. Yo, it can emphasize mistakes like precise misstates and make the public hater make the polling takes, yo.
Okay, I think I broke my leg, but I can still share some information with you.
That's dedication.
Doris Grover's recent study has shown that coverage between the three branches of government is largely divided, where the president gets a major 60% compared to only a 31% coverage that the Congress gets and a mere 9% that the Supreme Court gets because they don't allow cameras to broadcast the proceedings.
In America, the vast majority of public news stations are privately owned rather than publicly owned. A few examples of these public news stations are NPR and PBS, with news programs such as NewsHour and Public Radio. Let's see. Aha! And another thing is that most of these major broadcasting companies are just owned by large corporations as well as the newspapers, such as Fox News, CBS, and NBC. When reporters find the news, they get them from a major source, such as the U.S. government, or in such cases, trial balloons. Trial balloons are when information is released to the public as to see what the public's reaction will be, such as a president saying this, just to see the public saying that they have do this, X or Y, to see what the public reaction would be. Papers and such would put whole presidential speeches in the paper themselves, in the newspaper itself, but today only mere fragments of the speech have been put in. And now back to the two worst people I've ever met.
You're fired!
Screw you!
Well, thanks for tuning in to hear about our latest government news on NSC news broadcasting.
I'm Jack White,
And I'm Brittany Blanco.
and we'll see you tomorrow.
Trial balloons. Trial balloons are where information is released so we can get release.
Stop. Good morning and welcome to NARC News, your number one source of the biggest government information.
Stop!
Good morning and welcome to NARC News, your number one source of government information. I'm Jack White. Good morning and welcome to NARC News, your number one source of the biggest government information.
Yo, it can emphasize mistakes like like press forward mistakes.
In America. There! Take this. Okay, restart.